So hello and welcome to another HTML5 animated banner tutorial, and today we are going to create an interactive banner, and we are going to be using JavaScript, and we are going to be using something called gotoAndPlay. So right now I would like to show you what we are going to be doing today. So basically we are going to have something like this with some kind of button, and if I'm going to click on this button, we are going to have something like this. And yeah, that's what we are going to be doing today. Before we will start, I just want to say that I was doing animation as a job, but coding I'm just doing for fun. So there are maybe better ways how you can do something like this, but I just wanted to show you how I would do something like this. So right now I am on the site Freepik, and I am going to provide you a link in the description, and I am also going to provide you the Illustrator part, Illustrator file that we are going to create right now. So if you want, you can go ahead and skip this Illustrator part, and you can go directly to the Adobe Animate. But right now I'm going to click download, and I will go with free download, but keep in mind that you will have to attribute the author if you want to use this commercially. I already saved this, so I will go to the place where I have saved this, and I am going to have this in here. Like so, and I'm going to have a zip file like this, which I am going to right click and choose extract here, and I am going to double click on this EPS file, and it is going to open me this in Adobe Illustrator. And yeah, I will have to wait few seconds until my Illustrator will open. And yeah, we are going to have something like this, and right now I'm going to hit Ctrl-N or File New, and I will go with 300 by 600, and I want to have everything as it is, so I will hit Create. Now I will go back in here, and I am going to get this tooth, so I'm going to basically drag it in here, like so, and right now I can scale this with Shift and Alt, Shift to be proportional and Alt to go from the center of the tooth. And now I will go in here, and I'm going to get this one, so I'm going to drag it to the new file like so, and one more time I will have to scale this. In the Illustrator I'm zooming with the Alt and mouse wheel, and I'm going to scale this like so. Now what I want to do is I'm going to ungroup this, so I'm going to click on this one, right click, and I'm going to choose ungroup, and right now we have separated only the tooth and the rest is still grouped. So one more time, right click and ungroup or Ctrl-Shift-G until I will get to these separated parts. And now I want to have only this one, this part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the tooth. So I'm going to select it like so, I'm going to hit delete, and I will have to delete the rest of the parts like so. So basically I want to stay with only this one, and now I'm going to select it like so, and I'm going to hit Ctrl-G, and I'm going to group this. And now what I want to do is maybe I will scale this little bit with Shift and Alt, like so. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup this tooth. Because right now if I try to move it, it is all grouped together. So right now with the shortcut Ctrl-Shift-G, and now only the shadow is going to be separated, and the rest is still going to be grouped together. So one more time, Ctrl-Shift-G, and now if I'm going to zoom in a little bit, I'm going to have these parts separated. So now I'm going to be grouping some of the stuff. So I will click on this hand, and with the Shift on the rest of the hand and Ctrl-G. The same thing with this one. I will click with Shift, I will click and Ctrl-G, and don't worry about this. We will later on position this in the layers. Now I will click on this white part of the tooth with Shift on the tooth and on the shadow of the tooth, and I will try to move it to make sure that I have everything, but I have, so I will go back, and I'm going to hit Ctrl-G, and now I'm going to put these eyebrows together, so I will click on this one and Ctrl-G, and the same thing with the eyes, so I will click on this one and Ctrl-G, and I think that we have everything. So right now I will go back to the initial file, and there are a few things that I want to get. So I will go in here, and I am going to click, and I am going to double click, and I will double click one more time until I will get to this eye. And right now I can click on this one eye with Shift on this one and with Shift on the mouth. So I have selected these three things, and I am going to drag them to the new document that I have created, and I am going to approximately position it and scale it. So with Shift and Alt I am going to put it maybe like so. Okay, so I think that right now I have everything that I wanted. And I have everything in the layer 1, and if I'm going to open this layer 1, I'm going to have a bunch of stuff in here. So what I'm going to do is I will click on the layer 1 on these 3 lines, and I'm going to choose release 2 layers, and right now I will be able to select it like this with a shift and drag it outside of the layer 1, which means that right now my layer 1 is going to be empty and I will be able to delete it. And what I can do is I can position this layer 5, which I have this one, I can position it above everything like so. And now I'm going to save this file, I'm going to provide you this file, and I will see you in Adobe Animate in a few moments. So right now I am in the Adobe Animate and I will go with 300 by 600, and I want to have HTML5 canvas and frame rate is good as it is, so I will just hit create. And now I will go to the place where I have saved my Illustrator file, so I'm going to have it in here, and I'm going to drag it to the Adobe Animate like so. And right now I don't want to change anything, I want to have as it is, so I'm just going to click import. And now what I want to do is I am going to select everything. So I can go ahead and zoom out a little bit. I'm zooming out with Alt and mouse wheel, and I'm going to select everything like so. And I will go to the modify, convert to symbol, and I will convert everything to the symbol, or F8 is shortcut. And I can call this to be tooth scene, or whatever. This name is not important, and I will make sure that it is movie clip. I don't want to have a button. Later on we will have some buttons, but right now I want to have this as a movie clip, and I am going to click OK. And right now what is going to happen is that it is going to be everything in the one layer, in my case in the layer 5, and all of the rest of the layers are going to be empty. And you can see that they are empty because they don't have this black dot, so I am going to delete them. And I can go ahead and call this to be tooth scene. Same as the movie clip, and basically right now in the library we have this movie clip which is called tooth scene. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click like so, and right now I am in the scene 1 in the tooth scene. So right now I am in the other timeline. In Adobe Animate you have timelines in the timeline, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it, everything like so, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose distribute to layers. And right now we are going to have this one in here, and the rest of the tooth we are going to have in all of these layers. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to click on this layer 2 and I'm going to lock it, and I'm going to select all of the tooth, and I'm going to convert all of this to the symbol. So I will go to the modify, convert to symbol, or F8, and I'm going to call this tooth. And I'm going to click OK. And basically right now, one more time, we are going to have all of these empty layers. So I'm going to delete them like so. So one more time, I will go back to the scene 1, and we have scene 1 where we have everything as together. And then I will double click and I will have, and I'm going to rename this. So this is going to be tooth. And this is going to be, I don't know how to call it, I'm sorry, I will call it just a machine, but I don't know. But right now what I want to do is I will go to the tooth, I will double click. So right now we are in the scene 1, in the tooth scene, in the tooth. And here I am going to select everything, and I will right click and I'm going to choose distribute to layers. So if we want to animate something, like the animation of the hand or on the eyebrows, we are going to be doing this in here. Now what I want to do is I will go back to the scene 1, and I will have to create an instance name. So I will click anywhere like so, and this is a movie clip that we have created, and there is this instance name, and by this name we are going to be getting this with the JavaScript, and I can call this to be tooth scene. And I can call it tooth scene 1. Okay, so I don't want you to, because this library name has nothing to do with the JavaScript. Also, this layer name has nothing to do with JavaScript, but this name have everything to do with the JavaScript. Okay. And now what I can do is in the scene 1, I can create a new layer, and this layer I am going to call code. and I will right click and I will choose actions. And first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to declare one variable. This can be a little bit confusing for some of you, but yeah, that's how it works. And I'm going to write let root. This name is optional, and I'm going to say that it is equal to this. And basically, when we are going to be outside of the function, we are going to be writing this. And when we are going to be inside of the function, we are going to be writing root. But you will see what I mean. Yeah, one more thing that I want to create in here is some kind of button. So I'm going to create a new layer, and I will get a rectangle tool, and I can go with fill color with orange like so. And there is these rectangle options, and I can go ahead and choose maybe 25. This is just going to make my corners rounded. And I can go ahead and on this empty layer create some kind of button like so, and I can go ahead and get a text, and I can write something like pull out. And I'm not really sure if this is called pull out, but yeah. And I'm going to have it like so. And what I can do right now is I can click on this shape, I can click on with shift on this text, and I'm going to click F8 or modify convert to symbol. And now what we can do, we can have this as a movie clip, that's not the problem, but I would prefer to have this as a button right now. So I will click button, and I can call this to be button pull. But as I said, this name has nothing to do with the JavaScript, and I am going to click OK. So right now we are going to have this button, and we are going to create some kind of instance name. So I'm going to type in here button pull out, something like this. You can create your own name, and I'm going to copy this, Control C, and I will go to the code. So I will click just F9 or right click and actions, and right now I'm going to type this. I will paste button pull out. Then I'm going to write add event listener, and the event, the capital E, and listener, capital L. Then I'm going to write parentheses, then these quotation marks, and in the quotation marks we are going to write which kind of listener we want. So I want to go with click. Later on I will maybe show you how you can make this to be mouse over, but for mouse over there would be one additional step. But we will go with click, then comma, and right now I'm going to write the function that we are going to call. So far we didn't create the function, but we are going to create the function in a minute. So I'm going to call the function to be pull out F, for example. But this name is also optional. We can create whatever name. So I'm going to have something like this. And now I will go in here and I will type function. Then I'm going to paste the name of the function, pull out F. And I'm going to create a parenthesis. And then I am going to create the curly parenthesis. And yeah. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to close this because we will have to create some kind of animation and some kind of stuff. So right now I am going to double click on this to scene, and I will get the inside of this. And what I want to do is I want to click on this, as I called it, machine, and I'm going to click F8 or modify convert to symbol, and I'm going to call this to be symbol 1 because I really don't know how to call this. And now what I'm going to do is I will click on the tooth, and this tooth is already movie clip because we have converted it to the movie clip. So what I will do is I will go to the instance name, and I'm going to call this to be tooth 1, for example. And I will make sure that I have written it correctly, but yeah. And now what I will do is I am going to extend the timeline for both of them to maybe 200. So I will go to the frame 200 and I will click, and with shift I will select both of them, and I will right click, and I am going to choose insert frame. And now we are going to very simply create an animation. Basically what I can do is at the beginning I am going to position this, but yeah, I will have to go back a couple of times because I have created something wrong. Let me see. Okay. So the thing is that I was converting this to the symbol F8, but I don't want this to be button. I want this to be movie clip. But Animate remembers what was the last thing. So I want this to be a movie clip, and I'm going to click OK. And I will go to the library. I will make sure that I have this as I want. And yeah. So right now I am going to extend the timeline. So I will go to the frame 200 like so, and I'm going to click F5 to extend this. And now this machine, I'm going to at the beginning position it out like so, and I will go maybe to frame, I don't know, 55, and I'm going to create new keyframe F6, and I'm going to animate this down like so. I have created other tutorial where I have created the rest of this, but right now I'm not going to be bothered about this. So if you want, you can go inside of this like so, and get the shape tool and get this color, and you can draw something like this, but I'm not going to be worried about something like that. And I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to create classic twin, so something like this, and we are going to have this kind of animation. And maybe what I can do is I can click on this keyframe, and I can go to the classic ease, and I can choose some kind of easing, and I would like to go with easy out, so basically it will slow down at the end of the animation like so. So we are going to come in here like so. Now one thing is that I will have to show you one thing. I will go to the library, and in the library I have the tooth, and I'm going to create new layer, and on this new layer I'm going to position this tooth. So I have duplicated it, but if I am going to double click on this tooth, and I am going to, for example, delete this eye, it is going to also delete the eye on the second one. So something like this, and I will go back because I don't want to have something like this. And it can happen that you are going to get something like this. Sometimes it can happen, but yeah. You will have to double click somewhere, unclick it, and you will get to the normal position. But what I want to do, I will double click in here. I'm going to get rid of this duplication, so I will hit delete, and I will go in here to the library, and on this tooth, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to choose duplicate. And I'm going to have tooth copy, which is fine for me, so I'm going to click OK. And right now what is going to happen is that if I'm going to pull this in here, and I will go inside, and I'm going to click in here and get rid of this eye, this is not going to affect the second one. But I will go back anyway. But what I want to do right now is this tooth, I want to adjust so I will go in here, and I'm going to delete some of the stuff. So I'm going to delete this eye. I will also delete this one like so, and I will delete this mouse. No hide, but delete. And we are going to have something like this. And now what I want to do is I will go I will go inside of this one. So I will double click, and in this one I am going to do the same, the opposite. So I'm going to get rid of the mouth like so, and I'm going to try to select the normal eyes, and I will get rid of them. So I will stay with something like this. And now what I will do is maybe one thing that I can do is I can make this a little bit bigger. So I can maybe go to the first frame, I can double click, I can hit Q, and with Shift I'm going to scale this a little bit like so. So basically when it comes down, it is going to like get the tooth. But what I want to do is, once we are going to be in here, I want this first tooth to disappear. So I will click in here, and I will go until the end like so, and I will right click, and I will choose remove frames. So we are going to have something like this, and I want the second one to appear in here like so. So we are going to have it like so, but I will go back, and first of all I'm going to position this on the same position as the first one. So approximately I'm going to try to do it like so. Let me see. One thing that I can do, if I want, but this is not necessary, you can go to the view, you can go to the rulers, and you can get the rulers to the anchor point of the first tooth. So I can go ahead and do something like this and something like this, and then I can hide the first tooth and show the second one, and I can position the second one to the exact place, approximately exact place, and then I can go to the view and get rid of the rulers, and I will get rid of this like so. But this is not necessary. This is something like if you really want to make this precise. And now I'm going to position this in here like so. So basically but I will have to show this one. So we are going to have this one, and then it is going to this is going to disappear, and this one is going to appear like so. And then I will create the keyframe on the machine, and I will call this to be tooth 2. And I will create the keyframe on both of them, F6. So I don't want to have any movement in here. And then I will create the keyframe one more time for both of them, and I'm going to get them up like so. And one thing that I didn't mention is that if you don't see the things outside of the stage, just click this clip content outside of the stage and you will see them. And I will create the classic twin for this one. So we are going to have something like this. So we have something like this, and then this go away. I will hit Ctrl Enter, and we are going to have this kind of animation like so. Now what I want to do is before we will go back to the code, I will create a new layer in here, and I'm going to call this to be code, and I will right click, I will choose actions, and in here I'm going to very simply write this dot stop parentheses and semicolon, and I'm going to position this at the beginning like so. So right now if I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, nothing is going to happen. And one more thing that we need to do is we need to create a new layer, and I'm going to call this layer to be label, and I will click on the first frame on this label, and I will go to the properties, and there is this label name, and I am going to create some crazy name, so I will call this by tooth. But you can call this as you want, and I am going to copy this, Ctrl C, and I will go to the scene 1, and I will go to the main code, so actions, and in here we have this variable, which I'm going to explain right now why we have, and we have this button pull out, add even listener, click, and the function. And in this function, what we are going to write is I will have to go to I will click here, and this is going to be tooth scene 1. So I will have to copy this. So I will go back to the code, and I'm going to type in here root tooth scene 1, and that's why I have created this variable, because I can't normally write in here this. This would it would be possible, but that would require other stuff. So that's why when we are outside of the function, we are writing this, and when we are inside of the function, we are writing root or whatever you are going to call this. So root tooth scene 1, and right now I'm going to type goto and play, and I'm going to write parentheses and these quotation marks, and now I will go in here, and I'm going to copy this label, so bye tooth, and I will go to the code, so I will click F9, and I'm going to paste this in here like so, and the semicolon, but semicolons are optional. And right now if I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, we are going to have something like this, and nothing is going to happen. And if I'm going to click pull out, this is going to come, and it will go away like so. Now one thing which I don't like is that if I'm going to click this pull out, and I will click it one more time, it will I will click and it will start, I will click, it will slow, it will stop, I will click, it will start, I will click, it will stop. But I don't want to have this like so. I want it to click and then basically get the tooth. So there are two options what we can do. So we can go ahead to the code. I'm going to write click F9, and basically I could go ahead and copy this code. and I'm going to paste this in here like so, but because of we are in the function, I will change this to root. So root button pull out, and instead of add event listener, I'm going to change this to remove event listener. So we are going to call this function on the button pull out. We will have the function, but in the same function we are going to remove the event listener. And basically this means that right now if I'm going to click this, I won't be able to click this anymore, and this will just go away. One more thing that we could do, and that's probably a little bit easier, is I will click I will go in here and I will click F9, and basically I can go ahead and type that my root, and I will copy this long name. You can create a shorter name if you want. Root button pull out, and visible is going to be false. So basically when I'm going to click on this button, that button will disappear. And that's why I do not need the rest of the code. So I can comment this out, // right now this is going to be gray, and it's like right now this code doesn't make anything because it's commented out, and I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, and basically if I'm going to click on this one, it will disappear, so I don't have the option to click it anyway. Now a few more things that we can do. I can go ahead and double click on this pull out button, and when we have movie clip, for example as the tooth, we will get to the normal timeline. But if we have the button and we are going to double click on the button, we are not going to have the normal timeline, but we are going to have an option to choose mouse over. So I will click F6, and I can go ahead and change this button. So I can make this button bigger, like so, and I can even click in here and change the color. And right now I can see that my button is not aligned, but I'm not going to be worried about it. But basically right now what I did is that when I go with mouse over, it will change like so. And now what I can do is maybe I can go ahead and click anywhere, and I can change the color of my background. So I will click on the stage, and I'm going to choose maybe some kind of blue color like so. I don't know. And right now I don't like it, so I don't want to play with colors, but I want to choose maybe something which is I don't know, something like this. And this shadow right now looks horrible, so maybe I can go ahead and very quickly go inside of this shadow and change the color of the shadow to something which looks better, but you do not need to be worried about it. So right now I have something like this, and I can go ahead and double click on this tooth, and I can go ahead and create some things. So I can have it like so. And right now I can go ahead and create a new layer, and on this new layer I can get text, and I will get the white color, and I am going to write something. Probably I'm going to make some errors, but or I will write congratulations, you have pulled out the tooth. Something like this, and yeah, the writing is not the best thing that I have, but I can write something like this, and I can make this little bit bigger, so with Q, like so, and I will create one more layer, and I can create some kind of button one more time. So I'm going to get a rectangle tool, and I'm going to get some kind of orange color, and I'm going to create the button like so. Maybe I will change the color a little bit. I could go ahead and get the same color as I had before, but I'm not going to be worried about it. And I will get some text, and I am going to, with the white color, write something like, let me do it one more time, text tool, like so, and visit the dentist, something like this, I don't know. And I'm going to put it in here, and maybe I will make this a little bit smaller, so something like this. And I'm going to maybe select it like so. With Q, I'm going to scale this little bit, and I can right now convert it to the symbol, so F8, and this is going to be symbol 2, it's fine, and I can click on the text also, F8, and symbol 3 is fine, and basically I can go ahead and animate both of them. So I'm going to get the keyframes, and I'm going to position the keyframes maybe in here, and I will I will go in here, create new keyframes, F6, and on these keyframes I am going to position both of them down, and I am going to choose that the alpha is going to be 0, and then I'm going to create a classic twin. So basically I'm going to have this kind of animation, and I can create some kind of easing, so I can go to the easy out and do something like this, and then maybe I can offset one of them like so. So basically I will hit Ctrl Enter, and we are going to have something like this. And when I'm going to click pull out, this is going to go like so. It will get it away, and then I'm going to have something like this. But one issue is, as you can see, that this animation is going to be playing, and then it will. I will have to click this. It will play like so. Then it will go away. Then the text and button is going to appear. But then we are going to get to the tooth. And I don't want that. I want it to stay with the text and the button. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to duplicate this code, this dot stop, and I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to position it to the end like so. And I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter right now. And if I'm going to click this pull out, it will get it away. And the text is going to come, the dentist is going to come, and it will stay like this. And maybe you have noticed that when my tooth is going to change to other one, the shadow is going to change. I'm not going to be bothered about it. But what I can do right now is I can double click on this tooth one. And I can go ahead and extend the timeline for this to maybe 200. So I will select everything, and I will click F5 or right click insert frame. And I can go ahead and maybe click on this hand. It's a little bit outside of the stage right now, but I'm not going to be worried about it. And I will convert this to the symbol, so F8. And I can call this to be hand, and I am going to click OK, and I will hit Q, free transform tool, and I will position this anchor point in here maybe, and basically I'm going to create an animation of the hand. So on the first keyframe of the hand I am going to make it like so, and I'm going to create new keyframe, F6, and I'm going to position it like so, and then I'm going to duplicate the initial keyframe. So basically I have created a waving like so. It go like this and back, and I'm going to duplicate this a few more times. So I will do it like so. I will go back, and I want to position the first keyframe to the last keyframe like so, and I'm going to duplicate this one more time like this, and one more time like this. So basically we are going to have this kind of waving. Maybe we can do the same thing with the eyebrows, so F8, and I'm going to call this symbol port, it's fine, and I will create new keyframe, F6, and I'm going to position the eyebrows up, and I'm going to duplicate this keyframe, and I'm going to create the classic twin. So right click, create classic twin, and in here I'm going to create an easing. So I will click on this keyframe with shift on this one, and I'm going to choose easy in out, something like this, and I'm going to duplicate this bunch of times, so like this. And now I'm going to duplicate this one more time, like so, and like so. And I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, and basically what is going to happen is that we are going to have this kind of animation, and by default this animation is going to be looping forever. And yeah, and when I'm going to click this pull out, it is still going to be waving until it will change to the second tooth. Then it will go away, and then we are going to have something like this. So yeah, and the last thing that I want to show you is how you could do this as a mouse over. So I will go to the scene 1, and I will click F9, and if you want to use a mouse over, you have to type something like stage.enable mouse over with M and over capital and parentheses and semicolon, which is optional. And right now I will change the click to mouse over, but in here mouse over is not with the capital O. So I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter, and I will go with mouse like so. The button will disappear immediately, and we are going to have it like so. But yeah. Now I will go back F9, and I'm going to change this to click. like so, and I'm going to I will save this later, but yeah. So right now I'm going to save this, and I will show you how you could export this. So Ctrl S, and I will go to the place where I would want to save this. So I will go to the tutorial, and I will go to the I will create a new document. I have this in Spanish because I'm learning Spanish, but new document, and I will go in here, and I will call this to be goto and play maybe, and I'm going to hit save. And right now if I go to the place where I have saved this, so I have this in here in the animate, I'm going to have the animate file and some recover file animate, but as soon as I'm going to hit Ctrl Enter to see this in the browser, this is going to publish me some JavaScript, some HTML, and some images. So I'm going to get rid of this like so, and right now I'm going to hit file, publish settings, and I will go to this folder, and I will go to the place where I want to save this. So I'm going to have it in here, in tutorial, in animate. So here is my animate file, and I'm going to create a new folder which I'm going to call index, and I will go inside, and I will call this to be index, and I'm going to hit save. I'm going to hit OK. I will hit file, and I will hit publish. And right now we are going to have the index folder, and in the index we are going to have some things. Now I'm not going to show you in this tutorial how could you export this to the Google Ads. I can provide, I am going to leave in the description a tutorial where I explain something like this, but yeah, I'm not even sure if Google Ads would accept something like this with clicking. Maybe with mouse over yes, but with clicking probably not, but yeah. But now one thing is that if I'm going to open this like so, I'm going to have it like this, and if I click, I'm not going to have anything, and if I click F12, I'm going to have an errors, and it's like this is most likely due to security restriction with cross-domain images, and there is the issue with these images, but the thing is that if you are going to put this to the real website or on the local host, it is going to work normally. Only when you are going to be watching this in your browser, you are going to have the error like so. But in our case, what we could do, I will go back to the animate, and actually right now I will go to this I will go to the index, and I'm going to delete everything, and I will go to the file, publish settings, and I will change this from texture to image assets, and I'm going to click OK, and I will click file and publish. And right now we are not going to have images because let me explain to you. When we have texture, it is going to convert the vectors to the PNG, to the images, but when we have image assets, it is going to have it as it is, and it is vector. So right now we are not going to have in our published things images, only HTML and JavaScript. And if I'm going to double click in here and I'm going to click, this is going to be working normally. But as I said, even though if you are going to have error with the images, if you would working with something with some images and not vectors, it would really work in the real website or the local host. Only in your own browser there is this issue. But yeah, this is it. This was probably a very long tutorial, but if you have watched until the end, let me know in the comments. And I don't want to make this any longer, so thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have learned something. If you would like to have more tutorials like this, let me know in the comments. And yeah, thank you very much and goodbye.